Last week we showed you some of the best things to do while visiting Melbourne in Australia. Take a look at the roundup before we leave the city. I'm in central Melbourne right now, and after spending a few days here, it is time to venture out of the big city to explore what else Victoria has in store. I'm going southeast of the city to Phillip Island, which is known for its beautiful beaches, wildlife and scenic coastline. And with its abundance of activities, it is a must visit for anyone coming to Victoria. So that's where we're going to next. The road takes us through the beautiful scenery of the countryside of Victoria.
To another country song.
The first stop is at Phillip Island Helicopters, where I'm meeting Chad, a pilot who is taking me for a ride.
How you going? Chad? 4, the red one. The red one, that's correct. So we're going to see...
Before being allowed to take off, I must sign a liability waiver. Time to jump into the chopper and get started.
Ready to go.
But before moving, Chad tells me how the instruments and procedures work. The small helicopter is very light and nimble, and as the rotors pick up speed, everything is moving, and before we know it, we're airborne. Phillip Island is located around 140 kilometers southeast of Melbourne. This idyllic small island is home to many adventure activities and is most famous for its penguin parade. More on that later. Chad takes me over the island points of interest around its coastline, including a shipwreck that is half submerged. The main town, Cowes, has its tree-lined main street stretching up from the jetty where the boat tours depart from. From this helicopter ride, we can see the lay of the land and also get a bird's eye view of things we can explore once we're back on terra firma. We pass Seal Rocks, where thousands of seals congregate, a popular spot for boat tours. The beautiful landscape with cultivated farmlands dramatically meets the Bass Strait. Picturesque cliffs are interspersed by pristine beaches along the island's south side. And we fly over the island's Grand Prix circuit, which was home to Australia's first Grand Prix. After around 20 minutes in the air, the helicopter tour ends, and it's time to check out some of the sights we've seen from above. There are many surf shops that sell everything from surfboards to wetsuits. And the island's south-facing beaches are great for surfing. This is WOOLAMAI Beach, which is known for its good waves and is ideal for experienced surfers. There is another interesting island here that connects to Phillip Island via bridge. The scenic fields are grazed by highland cattle and they are surrounded by well-kept walking paths. This is Churchill Island, where the first European garden in Victoria was planted by Lieutenant James Grant after he reached it by boat in 1801. It has been a farm, vegetable garden, and summer retreat ever since European settlement. And since the 1850s, the fertile land has been continuously farmed here. In 1872, the former mayor of Melbourne purchased the island for a holiday and farm use. And he built a large house and other buildings. These old buildings are in great condition and have been filled with time-appropriate furniture to give visitors insight into what the rooms would have looked like over a century ago. And there are volunteers like Fred Allen here who explain the history of this settlement to guests.
In 1872.
So this is the original settlement, like the original building on the island?
Here at John Rogers Cottages.
Oh, yeah.
Today, the historical Churchill Island has a working farm that has been set up to receive visitors. It gives a glimpse into what farm life and work was like, and a lot of things are similar even to this day. We find Billy Caddy, the blacksmith, working on tools required around the farm, while demonstrating the age-old craft of ironmongery. There are also demonstrations of other farm activities where visitors can take part and get their photo taken. The first demo today is milking the cows, and farmhand Chloe Dan lets children pass through quickly while their parents click their picture. After Chloe finishes milking the cow, we pick her brains about what it's like to work at a farm.
So what do you do here? How long have you been working here?
So I've been working here for 7 years. I am a farm assistant, so my job is basically to run demonstrations for everybody that comes to visit us, such as whip cracking and sheep shearing shows. And I also look after all the animals.
What's kind of like usually the biggest hit for people and for kids when they come here?
Probably the whip cracking.
Yeah?
Yeah.
And we still haven't seen that. That's still coming up for us. Yeah.
That's a really, really fun demonstration, and a lot of people get really involved, so it's a really good one. What we do is invite people to come out from the crowd to learn how to crack a whip, and we show them how to do it, and some people get it and some people don't, but it is just really entertaining to watch as well.
I can imagine.
Pete's shearing a sheep now, so I can hear the handpiece going, so you might want to head over that way and have a look.
Well, thanks a bunch.
No worries, guys. It was lovely to meet you. Group them of a sheep and bring them to me. Billy, get over!
The next demonstration is on working dogs. This is Billy, a border collie. Chloe shows visitors how she controls the herding dog through a series of commands. Impressive, isn't it? It shows us just how valuable a well-trained dog can be on a farm.
Now, when the dog fell, I said stop.
By shouting out the commands from across the field, Billy promptly takes action and moves around, watching carefully over the group of sheep. And it's a really impressive demonstration of just how useful a well-trained dog can be to help out on the farm. The following demo is the highlight of the whole day. We are in for a whipping session with Peter Officer, who has practiced and used whips for over half a decade. He picks out his favorite tools and proceeds with cracking the whip. The loud snaps appear to woo the crowd. Soon enough, the onlookers get to try their hand at it. And the first guest seems to get it immediately. I jump at the opportunity when Peter asks for another volunteer.
9 o'clock. Yes, just like that.
Getting it right is much more complicated than it seems. Peter made it look easy. Getting the timing wrong can tear your hands up, and listening to the instructions is crucial. I give it several tries before learning the correct technique. I feel just how satisfying a properly timed snap is when I finally get it. It is easy to see why this activity is the biggest hit of all the demonstrations at Churchill Island. After my run at the whips, other spectators give it a go as well, and Peter decides to get a bit cheeky. While others try to figure it out by snapping his own whip at the same time. The Churchill Island experience is open to visitors on all days throughout the year, except Christmas. The sheep shearing process is put on hold during the Australian winter for obvious reasons. We say if you are visiting Phillip Island, adding a visit to Churchill Island is a must.
This is the coastal town of San Remo. There is a daily show here where staff feeds pelicans and stingrays and draws quite a crowd of families who are here on holiday. Even though these are wild pelicans and stingrays, you can still bank on them coming around at the time of feeding, as they take advantage of free food being offered. There's also a high adrenaline activity available from this port, and that's why I'm here.
How many horsepower do you have on that thing?
It's 115 horsepower.
Yeah. And what's the top speed?
Depends how much weight's in it. So averages out about 100 k's an hour.
Yeah.
To 80 k's. Just depends on.
After learning more about the Thundercat boat, it's time to get fitted with a life jacket. Safety first.
All right, so we are all geared up and set for an ocean adventure.
Luke takes us far out across the strait, and we pass a slower tour vessel where people seem jealous of our speed. Our captain takes us to an exciting sea cave where our small boat can travel way inside. The furthest out point of the tour is a good location for snorkeling. But we're here for the speedboat ride and decide to turn around back to base.
It literally feels like sitting on a rocket ship. It's like, it's so much like faster and like more extreme than I ever imagined. It's just so fast. It's like literally like sitting on a rocket.
From the helicopter ride, we could see Seal Rocks, and we're heading out for a tour around the small islands now. The main town, Cowes, on Phillip Island, has a jetty. This is where we board Casey Lee.
How long is the tour?
About 2.5 hours.
2.5 hours?
But I've let the seals know you're coming.
Okay, perfect.
They've been up, had their coffee, they're ready for you.
It's time to depart, and what is an activity in Australia without a safety briefing?
Pull it nice and tight, and because we're on a very fashionable boat today, we finish it off with a pretty white bow. Now, once you've got this on, please don't jump straight into the water.
Andrew Thomas is the captain of Casey Lee, a 64-foot modern catamaran that can comfortably seat over 100 passengers.
We heard some thunder before. Do you think it's going to rain? I mean, it looks like this is just flatter, like over the sea. It's like it's not really like rain, or what do you reckon?
Nah, we might get a little tickle.
Yeah.
I was going to say, have you seen a radar?
The captain predicted rain, and like clockwork, we're in a drizzle that quickly passes. On the way out to Seal Rocks, we pass a big sea cave that looks huge.
Right, well, we might make our way out to Seal Rocks. The weather is quite nice, but you never know, like I said. The boat can...
We finally reach Seal Rocks, a protected area where only researchers with special permits can step foot. Besides that, these 3 rocky islands are full of several thousand seals who come here to breed. Listen to the sound of these animals. Surprisingly, they sound a lot like sheep. The captain and staff at the Casey Lee inform the guests of all kinds of curious details about this colony. I meet Jess Tong, a mate on the ship, to learn more about the seals.
So they breed on the rocks, they're mammals, so they need milk, they breathe air, they have fur, all that sort of stuff. So they actually need to be on land when they breed, which is why they're pretty much, you see all the pups that are really high up on the rocks.
Yeah.
They do it every year. Usually the females are pregnant every single year of their life.
Okay.
Between when they're 3 years old, when they're sexually mature, and then when they die at about 21. The male will stay around for about 3 months. He'll fight other males who are trying to come into his territory. Yeah. Sometimes I've actually seen them die because they do get quite aggressive.
Yeah.
The males have quite a thick vein around their neck, and that's where most of their blubber is. So they bite and they scratch and all that sort of stuff.
You've actually seen like seals kill other seals on the rocks? Wow.
Yeah. We've seen...
That must be pretty intense. Like, why do they make the sound? Like when I came close to it, I thought it was like sheep or something. Like it's unexpected.
So at the moment, because we have the pups and the mums here, pretty much when the mum comes back from fishing, she's trying to find her pup. It's quite often the pup's not where she left it. So she'll call, and then you might hear about 5 or 10 other pups respond. But that seal actually knows her pup by its distinct smell and its exact sound. So it might take a while because she might have to go searching all through the rocks, but she does find them eventually.
The colony is a fascinating sight. So many seals congregate on such a small piece of land and can do it without human interference. It's nice to see the conservation of wildlife working here. As we travel back to shore, Andrew lets the curious children take turns steering the vessel. They get rewarded with a precious signed certificate from the captain. The biggest highlight of the whole tour for me is the Junior Captain Certificate. What a treasure.
Look at this. Another certificate.
We quickly make it back to shore. As the day will soon turn to night, we head to the Penguin Parade, one of the most well-known activities on Phillip Island. Located west of the main town, Phillip Island Nature Reserve is one of Australia's most popular attractions. It's where you can take a waddle on the wild side and get up close to penguins. I catch up with Amber Ferguson, who works at the reserve.
This is a little penguin, also known as a blue penguin, but they are called little penguins because they are the smallest penguins in the world. So we have about 40,000 of these little guys here at the Penguin Parade, and you can come and visit them. So you've got everything from, you just come up and sit down on the beach, or you can go on a guided tour, whatever you want your experience to be.
Visitor Center here was finished in 2019. There are plenty of interactive games to engage young visitors. And you can also find impressive taxidermy presentations of the wildlife commonly found in this region. We walk towards the beach and observe the tiny penguins walk in. But why do these flightless birds walk up to the shore every day?
So these penguins, they come in and they breed here, or they come into the coast to rest on land?
Both. So they come on land to rest or to breed. So Phillip Island is their home essentially.
Yeah.
But they're found all the way along the coast of Australia. We have a no photography rule, and that is strictly to protect the little penguins. We have lots and lots of visitors here that come from all around the world, and of course our little penguins live here every single day of the year. So in order to help protect them, we ask our guests that you don't take photography of the penguins, and they can download free photos and videos from our website because we want everyone to have a good time and remember it as well.
What an intriguing sight. The penguins start walking up to the shore as it gets darker. Where else can you watch wildlife so closely and be sure to get a sighting? These penguins come in after hunting for food out at sea, and as it gets dark, they move back into their burrows on land. You also get to see penguins at night, which is a unique experience.